Cool. Now we can play with it on. Thank you.
I have to make a test of your voice just to see how loud.
Hello. Hi. Hi. Hello. 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 Hello.
Okay.
Just woke up to find out my name is Buckle.
Yeah, Buckle.
Buckle.
Seems to be missing.
Yeah, there we go.
Maybe they didn't have letters enough for
Yeah.
you, for the rest of you.
Yeah, the machine can only do. The machine can only do. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Robert Plant's really pissed. Page and.
Yeah, there was no place for him. But talking about that concert you gave in Copenhagen 10 months ago, so I think
10 months ago.
It must be 10 months ago.
Yeah, it's pretty much true.
I think there was a constant. One thing I noticed is that although you say you don't have a prefix set list, there was a constant flow between the songs. Seems like it's very important for you to have a pace and a flow in the set. Also on the LP, the way the songs are connected.
Yes, yeah, which is precisely why we don't have a set list, because you can plan to have a flow in the abstract, in your mind, looking at a piece of paper, seeing what songs you're going to do. That can have a flow, but as soon as you get into a room, then the energy may not match the set list. So the best thing you can do is read the energy of the audience, have your band know the songs well enough and know each other well enough that you know each other's tendencies and habits and what sort of feels right. And the point is that the song that you're playing, sort of, I don't know, the rhythm of it dictates the next one. It's like DJing the whole night.
But the tendency to work this way, has this come from playing on the street like a Roskilde for some years? Has it something got to do with that?
It has to do with that kind of work I did. Yeah, I mean, it has that's what I wanted to learn when I was doing solo shows. Was how to do that. Was how to read the energy of an audience, and to have the night rise or fall or expand or contract according to it. It's a pretty arbitrary thing, but
do you still pick up a guitar and go and play in the streets, or?
I play whenever I can. Nowadays, I don't have that much time at all. It's usually just touring. But yeah, I will again.
Is it something that you miss?
Yes, it's also there's a certain strength that you need to do that, as opposed to a whole other quality of strength doing these shows. Not strength, but just, you need to be in a whole different head. And I remember playing a solo show at the top of the year. It was, what was it? It was at Chennai, and it was New Year's Eve, and I was rusty as hell. I was really struggling.
You were struggling?
Yes.
How come?
Because I'd been away from that way of performing for so long. It took me a while to get it together. I didn't have the same flow as I used to, and I just have to get it back again.
But hasn't that got something to do with the all these things that has happened to you during the last year? I mean, when you were playing as a solo artist.
Exhaustion, you mean?
No, I think 1 year ago, because before you released the LP and you were playing solo concerts, nobody knew who you were, and now you're on a lot of people's lips, and they have expectations for you now. Things have changed.
Oh, that's true. At that show in particular, there were a lot of people expecting a rock show and yelling my name instead of listening. It was also New Year's Eve, but still, I'd like to bust all this down, totally destroy it, and then rebuild it again. Because it was better when people just came there because they needed to come, instead of coming to see some sort of mild spectacle, which it isn't. It's really, it's never a spectacle. It's just I have a lot of stories to tell, and if you want to hear them, you can sit down, and it's really simple. It's really simple. It shouldn't become too overinflated.
But you told me just before we started the interview that the concert in Copenhagen, one thing you didn't like was the few people who were there, some of them were older, and they came because of your father's reputation. Is that a problem you often have when you're performing?
No, not really. It's sort of. It's not really all that bad. It's just annoying. It's annoying to see it, and it's annoying to hear about it from those certain people. They really are. It's quite an innocent thing. I don't hate them, but it's just annoying. People hanging on to the past. People, and I'm especially sensitive to it because.
But is it like you can feel the expectations from them towards you as a person?
Well, that's sort of like being. It's sort of like being a black man from Africa and coming to another country and people expecting you to break into some sort of tribal dance at any moment or eat a dog, and none of it's true. And as that person, you can be totally annoyed, but you have to have some personal resolve and a balance to deal with it, or else you'll just be constantly annoyed, and that'll. I don't want that creeping into my voice or into my actions, so I deflect it somehow.
But actually, you are able to attract a very young audience who don't know anything about your father. At the Danish radio, we have a youth program for kids between 13 and 20 years old, and they do have their own hit list, and The Last Goodbye is at the top of the hit list. Actually, it's true, and a lot of these young kids, they are sending, to the program, they are sending their own farewell letters, just to show how much they love the melody. And it's not a lie.
Then you must tell them that I love them too, because that's amazing. Farewell letters. It's a pretty universal sentiment in that song.
Do you often get that sort of response from the audience you attract?
Those what?
That sort of response from the yeah.
I thought you said wishbones.
Yeah, no.
That's almost cooler, but response. Yeah, I've gotten letters about people just having broken up and then getting the album, and sometimes not even it strikes people not even about love affairs or love relationships. One girl had a friend in the hospital sick with cancer, and that's the person that they were reminded of when they heard the song. They could die, and it is that too. I like openness, and I like a universal. I like it that a song can inhabit all kinds of moments, not just the literal love song or the hate song or the sex song or whatever. It's good. That's the better the song.
Is that why you didn't print the lyrics on the record sleeve?
Yes. Yeah, that is. I also find myself when I have an album with lyrics in it, I find myself, telegraphing the song before it happens, and I don't let it happen to me because I'm so interested in the lyrics. And besides, if you saw my lyrics in print, they don't really look all that impressive.
So it's a combination of sound
insecurity
and texture.
And no, it's all insecurity.
It's insecurity.
Yes, but also I like having a bit of mystery about the music. That you take it for yourself or push it away.
But do you feel insecure still?
Oh yeah, find me a cure, baby. I'll take it. Yeah, sure. I'm not. This whole thing has just started, and I don't even know what my process is. My creative process. I have to go away for a while, I think.
Has it become too much, or the attention?
No. Too much to bear? No, not at all. It's overwhelming, that's for sure. But it's all right. It's good.
But you say that you need to go away for a while. Is that because you need to?
I need to put some life into these ideas I have and make lots more music. I just need to. I just need to get away, and I will.
But that sounds. It sounds when you say these things that it's like music to you has a sort of a therapeutic aspect also for you.
Well, any expression, any emotional expression is therapeutic. But I don't go to it for therapy. It sort of is a therapy is sort of like a byproduct to it, and that's great. But the purpose of it is just to do it. It's just to have it real. I just love music. I like it a lot.
I told you about these letters that young kids, especially girls, are sending for this program. I also know that a lot of girls, not only the young ones, but a lot of girls are attracted to you. Can you cope with that?
Yes, because I know. I know that it's not me that they see. It can't be me. They don't quite really know who I am. They can't know from seeing me 50 minutes on a stage or on the television. Or they can know the music for themselves, but and usually they just want things signed, or they want mementos, or they want something from me. There hasn't been any real love interest for groupies. It's just not possible unless they, I don't know. I have a real. I mean, this is my work, and you know what I mean. The relationship is set up that they receive, and we transmit. And any relationship after that is going to be colored by that transaction, instead of like, me meeting somebody, just them not knowing who I am and taking me for what I am. And it's not a defense. It's just something I know is true. And I've had rock crushes. I had a crush on Kim Deal. She was with the Pixies, but it didn't mean I was going to go up and say, "Can I please make love with you? I love your album."
But it was also a combination in combination with the music and the feeling of the music that you were attracted to it.
Well, girls are pretty smart about music. Every cool thing I've ever gotten into is because of a girl. Smiths, Susie and the Banshees, Bad Brains. They're pretty smart because they're not smart. They're just. And this is a gross generalization of girls as opposed to boys, but mostly it's true. It's a good cliche because a girl will have in her record collection any number of disparate things that just make them feel something, like a soundtrack from a movie, and then some really like dopey British pop band, or some really stupid American metal, or something really lofty and poetic, and then a symphony, and then guys will, like, if they like Metallica, they will only like have Metallica, and then maybe a little Slayer, and like one color.
Yeah, they're more single-minded, you would say.
Yeah, because I don't know. It's just either they feel like belonging to something, or guys get very focused. And think that straying from the path will weaken them. Whereas girls are, if you're vulnerable by nature, then you can never be that weak. It's impossible to sway you. You're just swayed.
But will you say that you also have this collector's gene in your body? That's typical for boys.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, the coveting. Mm. Yeah, sure I do. But I also I'm practically a girl. I'm 70% water, and 50% of that is girl water. And it used to really be a detriment a long time ago, and now I don't care anymore. But I don't know. There's just scads and scads and scads of music out there. Amazing things that will give you inspiration. Really strange things. That you need to be open enough to find them. You need, and you just can't be closed-minded about it.
But talking about this, girls being attracted and stuff, I think some of the things that attract girls towards your music has to do with they think that your voice is so delicate that it can break down any moment.
Well, I've been touring for 2 years practically, and hasn't fallen down yet. Falls down once in a while, but because of
Because
my voice is girlish.
No, but there's something delicate in it. I know my own girlfriend. She's very attracted to the way that you sing because she thinks it's so delicate the way you go up in the high octaves and like it can break down any moment, but it doesn't. It's just.
Thank you. But that's just my taste. I scream my head off as well. The thing about the voice is that, as opposed to other instruments, it's completely exposing. Every emotion you have, it's the first thing you use when you're a child, and it's the most. Every devastating thing that's ever happened to people, with the exception of maybe guns and bombs and weapons, has usually happened with the voice. I hate you, go away, fuck you. People use that. I love you, things like that. And I think that every emotion has a sound, a musical sound, or a musical setting, and a lyric, but also a feeling, and I like having, I like having filigree, and I like having total penetrating sound, and I like it all. I don't know if that answers your question.
We talked about 10 minutes ago. We talked about the older people in the audience, but today you will be playing at this festival, and I think a lot of the people out there are quite young.
Yeah, sure.
It would be quite a different experience for you. Is that something you look forward to?
It's a different experience for me than the last time I came to Denmark, but throughout all the shows, there've been people around my age or younger.
But you prefer the younger audience?
No, I prefer it to be all kinds of people. Like we played in Antwerp, and there were people of all ages. People of all ages come to our shows, and all kinds of people. That I like. I really enjoy it because, I'll be old someday. I am old now.
Are you 29 or?
No, 28.
28.
But ever since I was 13, I felt like a fuddy-duddy.
You did?
Oh yeah, sure.
Henry Miller said that he was feeling old all his youth, and when he became, about 50,
he became younger.
He became younger.
Yeah, that's only because I just worried too much as a kid. I still do. I'm not talking about age and inexperience, but age and just I don't know, worry. It'll make you old before your time, so stop worrying.
But has that got something to do with having an unsettled childhood, or?
It has a lot to do with everything I've gone through, and I don't know. I'm just a big. I'm just a sponge for tragedy. Even if nothing's happening, I used to be able to just put myself in a woeful state. Just like some people cry just to indulge themselves. But that wears on you, wears on your energy, and it keeps you away from reality, just like being happy all the time. But I don't know. I think a lot. You can hear me thinking right now if you listen close enough.
Yeah. So you are sort of the world weary type. Or?
What, world weary?
Yeah.
More people weary than world weary, but I'm not cynical. I'm not a solid cynic. I'm a healthy cynic. But I'm way too romantic. I'm way too... Please stop me before I speak anymore.
But things must change. I mean, you are on tour. You don't have the time to sit and think all the time.
Well, I stand and think all the time, or I go to the bathroom and think, or I think.
So you even think on stage, maybe?
No, I can't. I only act. That's the one place in my life right now that is the place where I live totally in the present, which is why it's so intoxicating. You know, because you never get a chance to do that unless you're making love or in a fight or something. You don't think about yesterday or tomorrow or anything. Now is the time, and it's a cross between, you know, it's like a survival, but a survival to have, you know, your accurate emotions made real, and that's such a. I couldn't even put my finger on it. What it feels like. It's just you feel real.
And still you feel a need to break up and have a few months off and
yeah, because I want
be closer to yourself.
Well, and also to create more fuel for that stage experience, and to you know, I don't know, just get deeper into music.
Have you been traveling
Yes.
all year since the LP came out?
Yes.
You have been?
And before. Before the LP came out. And before that, I've been touring since the top of 94. The winter of 93. I've been touring on my own. And then in June, I think, or May or something, I went out with the band. And we've been on the road ever since with little stops here and there. 2 weeks here, 3 weeks there. Hasn't been enough. Every time I come home, I'm always working. And I'd like to not work for a while.
So you haven't been in New York for quite a while now?
I haven't been myself in New York in quite a while. You know, meanwhile, my ordinary life is totally crumbling and falling away, and it's frustrating. It is frustrating. But the light side to that is that this experience is really great. It's beautiful. There's always a future. I'll take care of it later.
But then you must also, being on tour for all this time and not being home where your heart is, maybe you must become very close to the band, and you must be like...
Sure I do. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's...
sort of a little family.
Yeah, I didn't think that so late in my life I'd have best friends, like new best friends again. I just thought that was something that happened to you when you were a kid, but I do. It's great. We're forced because you don't have any time to really act falsely like you do when you're home, meaning like just relax and fool around. There's no fooling around out here. You have to, if there's a problem, you have to address it. You have to be honest. If there's something great, you must let them know, other people around you. And that's a real caustic thing. It can burn you to be so honest all the time, but we've come through it nicely, and you have to be really supple, and they're great men. They're really good men. I like them, and they're great fucking musicians.
I just looked at this piece of paper up there, and it says that you have to depart as soon as possible. So
yes.
It's a usual situation. You don't have the time to be here and look around and see, get the atmosphere of the place and stuff.
No. I still have not seen Denmark.
The last time around it was the same. You had to leave directly after the show. Or...
No, we had a day, I think. Oh, wait, did we? I don't remember. At one point, mostly I was in my hotel with a B12 shot in my butt and waiting to heal in my throat in a hotel room. But before that, I think we were running around in Christiania and the town that Hash built. And just, I don't know, trying to soak up the atmosphere. So that was good. From time to time, we get like an extra day. Go find some place to eat.
Can you remember where you're going next?
Where are we going next? Belgium. Yeah, Belgium. The answer is no, I don't remember.
No.
Yeah, Torhau.
And then Meltdown Festival.
The Meltdown Festival.
And then
Factor.
He's the one who's...
He's my brain.
Remembering, he's your brain.
Gene Bowen.
Oh, you're going to Belgium. Then it should be, you know, the film. If it's Tuesday, it must be Belgium.
No.
That's about an American, just like you actually, in other circumstances. But he's traveling, you know, for Europeans, the typical American way, one country per day in Europe.
Oh my God.
And he don't know where he is, and then he looks at the, you know, his time plan,
Yeah.
and he sees Tuesday. Well, it must be Belgium.
Morons. Yeah, I find a lot of that. The lesser in places like Denmark and Bavaria, but in the very popular places, meaning like places that are popular to Americans to go vacation, there's a huge contingent of Europeans that just look at all Americans as complete buffoons, and I have to tell them that yeah, mostly I agree. I mean, there are buffoons that go as tourists in New York, but it's too bad because it's very embarrassing, you know, to like go looking for something in Germany and just everybody going, no, I'm afraid not, and then look at their friend like, fucking Yankee bastard. No, I'm afraid we have nothing. No. Look, just can you tell me where I can find some? No. Mickey had an experience like that. It's funny, but I don't know. Good old prejudice. That's totally it's a worldwide language.
I think that we should stop.
Okay.
Yeah. It was nice talking to you.
Sure. Terrific.